seems a bit of a awkward question from looking at it. So we've got density and we've got some dimensions. That's going to give us volume ultimately, and we're interested in the maximum load. So the first thing I would write down would be a formula for density. The density is mass over volume. But what I'm interested in actually is the mass. I can rearrange that to mass is density times volume. Okay, so I need to multiply these two things together. I'm going to need to find the volume of a cuboid, which I can get by multiplying the numbers together. And then I've got to multiply it by the density. However, these are in meters and this is in centimeters cubed. So I need to be a bit careful here. And the easiest thing to do, especially for these multiplications, is to change everything in terms of centimeters. So the volume is going to be, well, 1 meter is 100 centimeters. So the volume is going to be 100 times 0.5 meters is going to be 50 centimeters. (50). 0.2 is going to be 20. And then I'm going to multiply that volume. Oh, sorry, I've worked out the volume. And so the mass is going to be the density, and now I've got it. Oh, it's in grams, but that's okay. The mass will be in grams, so it's be 2.7 times 100. I could work all these things out, but I'm just sort of setting it up at the moment. Now at the moment, this is in grams. Now before I do this calculation, I'm going to be a bit sneakier, and I'm going to change it into kilograms. And that involves dividing by 1,000. And that actually helps a lot, because I can start cancelling things off. I can divide through by 10 to get rid of that. I can divide through by, actually, at that point I can just divide through by 100. And I'm left with 2.7 times 50 times 2. So 2.7 times 100. So 270 kilograms. Can the lifting gear be used to lift the marble? This is I might even write less than 300, or I might write that in words. Yes, the marble can be lifted. That would be how I'd do this question. Because yeah, you could in theory change this into meters cubed, but you've got to remember when you change volumes, you end up you're really awkward. You'd end up 2.7. You'd have to times it by the density. If you change it to meters cubed, would be you'd have to times it by 100, but you'd have to times it by 100 cubed. And then you'd end up multiplying that by the decimals. It's just not even worth doing that. So basically make the numbers nicer, make them smaller units here, but do think carefully about like how you can take shortcuts, because you don't really want to be multiplying all this out. It'd take a long time. Think about how you can cancel things down. At the end of the day though, as long as you get 270, that's the main thing.